मोबाइल से कर रहे, मोबाइल से बोल रहे, इसमें से नहीं आ रहा ना। So yesterday we were discussing introduction to the control system. So we'll continue with that. Now the screen is visible, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Whatever things you know, you can just tell me so that I can skip that. Like yesterday, deterministic and stochastic control system. So deterministic means where the output is known, and stochastic means the output is uncertain. We don't know. Input is also called as the disturbance function. Input is also called as the forcing function, and output input is also called as the disturbance. So disturbance, forcing function, these are the different names for the input, and output is nothing but response. Output is nothing but the response. Okay. Then another type of control system is lumped parameter and distributed parameter control system. Lumped. So lumped parameter means when the control system is described by ordinary differential equation. The CS means control system. If it can be described or if it can be modeled by ordinary differential equation, then it is called the lumped parameter. इसका examples है any electrical network having resistance and inductance. Any electrical network which has resistance and inductance, that comes under the category of lumped parameter. Then distributed parameter control system. So if now in differential equation again you have ordinary differential equation and partial differential equation. So if the control system is described by partial differential equation, then it comes under the category of distributed control system. So these examples are transmission lines. So transmission lines are modeled as a distributed control system. Then another simple type of control system is open loop and closed loop. Open loop and closed loop. So in now see, this is the figure for this. Like suppose this is a input, reference input. Reference input is symbolized as R of t. R for the reference, and t is nothing but t stands for the time. So at any given time, at any given time, at any given instant, time t. Now this is a controller, and this is a process which is to be controlled by this controller, and then you get a controlled output, that is C for control and T for time. So C of t and R of t. Now here this is the output and there is no feedback from the output which is given to the input. So this comes under the category of open loop. Like suppose you have started from home, okay, and you are going to the college, but you are not informing to your parents after 1 hour where are you, after 2 hours where are you, whether you have reached or not. So that comes under the category of open loop. Closed loop means every half an hour or at any given time you are keep on you are updating your parent. Yes, I have reached Borivali. Yes, I have reached Andheri. I have reached Bandra. Now I am at college. Okay. Now there will be lectures. Then yes, now I am leaving from the college. So this is called the closed loop system where the feedback is given. So this is open loop and closed loop system. So all the CNC machines, 3D printers, they work on the closed loop systems. Another example, like suppose if I have given my RPM requirement is say 3000 RPM. Okay. So in open loop, भगवान के भरोसे के ऊपर छोड़ देंगे वेदर 3000 है 2500 है 3500 है नो बडी it doesn't matter. Nobody bothers. But in case of closed loop, okay, I have given input as 3000 RPM. So output will be checked whether it is 3000. No. So it is currently it is 2500. That means I need to give the more fuel, more supply, so that RPM increases. Right. Now if it is suppose 3200, that means it is more. So I have to cut short of the fuel. I have to reduce the fuel supply. So this is what goes on happening in closed loop system. So all the CNC computerized numerical control machines, they work on the closed loop system. Again you have bounded and unbounded control system. So bounded matlab like this, like for example aeroplane, if it turns spun plus and minus 10 degree, okay, so it has a boundary. Either it can go 10 degree to the right and 10 degree to the left, so within that range only it is going to turn around. So that is what is called as the bounded. अनबाउंडेड मीन्स होल 360 डिग्री पूरा सर्कल में वो घूमेगा, उसको बोलते हैं अनबाउंडेड. What are the examples? Like say continuous automatic control system. So you have regulatory kind of system. So refrigeration, electricity, space heating plant, this comes under the where you can regulate uh, the temperature. Follow up system means copying machine, follow up system. So in continuous you have these two types, one is regulator type and another is follow up type. So in case of continuous feedback, that is in case of closed loop, there is always a continuous comparison between what is given and what is achieved. There is always a comparison between what is given and what is achieved. Okay. Then mathematical model. Any system can be mathematically modeled, except emotions, anger. They cannot be modeled. But almost each and every system can be mathematically modeled. Then you have something called as in syllabus frequency response and root locus. So the use of these techniques is to determine whether the system is stable or not stable. Okay. So these are the shortcuts. So you don't have to solve the complete mathematical models. Okay. So these are the shortcuts which is helpful, or which avoids the necessity of making complete solution of the system equation. So you don't have to solve complete equations. Then what is the effect of friction? Hmm. So friction will always provide the damping effect. Means what? If there are any vibrations, the frictions will try to reduce that vibrations, and that's what is called as the dampers. Dampers. So here I have written friction in well lubricated motions which operate without dwell. Dwell means stoppage. Can be approximated with viscous friction for an approximate linear analysis. See, normally wherever there is a friction, that will come under a second order system. That will come under second order system. First order systems are very simple and they do not consider the frictional forces. But if the system is well lubricated, if there is a lubrication, then friction can be ignored so that your second order system can be converted into first order system. Okay. This is again some kind of a recap, that is continuous feedback system is nothing but you are doing comparison at every given time, and plus you are taking the relative action also. Like suppose if the RPM is less, then I need to supply more fuel. If the RPM is more, then I have to cut short of the supply. That is what is called as the subsequent action. And as I said that modeling can be linear and non-linear. Non-linear systems are modeled using differential equation, and differential equations can be partial differential equation or ordinary differential equation. That is called the ODE. ODE, and slowly you will see that how to model it. Fine. Okay. So analysis. Linear analysis means what? We are considering or we are studying the input disturbance and we are also studying the response. That is the study of disturbance as well as study of response. And response what? Response as a function of time. CISO is nothing but it's another type of control system which I forgot. That is single input and single output, where the input is one and output is also one. And similarly, you have MISO, that is multiple input and multiple output. MIMO, multiple input and multiple output. That is MIMO. Okay. So as I said, your transfer function is somewhat analogous to your efficiency, which is nothing but output upon input. So here output is nothing but response. Output is nothing but response, and input is nothing but disturbance. Input is nothing but the disturbance. So transfer function is generally shown by symbol f of d, or simply written as tf. Tf is nothing but transfer function, and this is theta o divided by theta I. Theta o is nothing but output, theta I is nothing but the input. So that is theta o is response, theta I is input to the system. So d by dt is nothing but differentiation of something with respect to time, d by dt, and that will be represented by capital D in our control system. Like say dx by dt. Dx by dt is what? Derivative of x with respect to t, with respect to time. X can be anything. X variable can stand for velocity, acceleration, anything. So when I say dx by dt or d by dt of x, it means differentiation of x with respect to time t. So that can be represented by capital Dx, capital Dx. So D is called as the operator, and it is denoted by d by dt. It is denoted by d by dt. So the response, it can be examined analytically, that is by mathematical modeling, or it can be examined by experimentally also. So operator D is equal to d by dt. It represents derivative or differentiation of something with respect to time, and that is your independent variable. And this equation, that whenever you are writing some differential equation for a system, that is what is called as the mathematical model. So there are different ways of analysis, like block diagram representation, signal flow diagram, SFG, root locus, Bode plots. There are different ways. So the very first is मैथमेटिकल ब्लॉक डायग्राम, और उसके पहले भी मैथमेटिकल मॉडलिंग. So that mathematical modeling can be done by using some basic laws, by basic rules. And basic laws are nothing but Newton's laws or Kirchhoff's law. Control engineering plays important role in controlling pressure, temperature, humidity, viscosity, flow, etc. etc. It can be applied in CNC machines, in digital manufacturing, in 3D printing, rapid prototyping. Most applications are in governors, centrifugal governor. mm. And once you form the differential equation for the system, then looking at that equation, you can determine the stability of the system. And I told you what do you mean by stability. The system can be perfectly stable or perfectly unstable, or the system can be marginally stable. That means the system is stable by margin. Like you take a page of the notebook, and in the page you can find on the left hand side you can find a margin, and you know the rule that you are not supposed to write the answers in the margin. Okay, that is what is called as the marginal stability. That means you cannot go beyond the, you cannot write before the margin. Okay, so you have to write only after the margin. So that is what is called as the marginal stability. You are stable by some margin. Like if you are standing on the terrace, and if you are standing near the sajja, near the katada, okay, so you are stable by some distance. That is what is called as the marginally stable. So you have different techniques like Nike's plot. So Nike's plot, it determines the stability of closed loop system to steady state sinusoidal input. As I told, inputs are three types. One is step input, another is ramp input, and third is sinusoidal input. Step input means you are increasing the input in steps. Like suppose today I give you assignment, one assignment, और टेक एग्जांपल ऑफ कूली, हम लोग उसका दिमाग के ऊपर, सर के ऊपर 5 किलो रखा, देन और 5 किलो, देन और 5 किलो, 5 किलो, 5 किलो, 5 किलो, 15 किलो. So that is called the step input. Ramp input means it is continuous. Y is equal to mx, continuous. And sinusoidal input means which follows the sine equation. That is h is equal to sine of omega t, or x is equal to sine of omega t, y is equal to sine theta. And most of the systems they follow sinusoidal input. What is frequency response? I am just briefing you the control engineering, huh? We are not yet actually started the mathematical modeling. This is just an introduction only, remember. But it is quite helpful to understand what is control engineering, what is the role of control engineer, huh? If you are taking career as a control engineer, what you are supposed to do. Frequency response, it is to design, or what is frequency response? It is nothing but to design the linear feedback control system. Then there are some classical control theory which are applicable only to the single input and single output system, classical control theory. And now nobody follows the classical control theory because they are very laborious and exhaustive and extensive. A single order system, suppose if I want to model mathematically single order system or first order system, if I want to model mathematically using classical control theory, it will take at least 6 to 10 pages, remember. So forget about higher order systems. You will always hear this servo mechanism. Without knowing servo mechanism, without understanding servo, control is not worth studying. So it is, servo mechanism is nothing but it's a feedback control system in which output is some mechanical position, that is some displacement or velocity or acceleration. Okay, so there is a continuous feedback of position, of displacement, of velocity, of acceleration, and these position, velocity and accelerations are controlled precisely in servo mechanism with the help of servo motors. And servo motors can be AC servo motors or DC servo motors, can be either. Nowadays AC servo motors are most common because they have little maintenance as compared to DC. DC, because in our industries we have input supply as AC. We have AC input supply. So if you are going for DC servo motors, then you need additional circuitry, initial rectification circuitry. So the control system can be pressure control system, wherein you are controlling the pressure, speed control system, where you are controlling the speed, numerical, that is computer numerical control system, your traffic control system, and so many. There is something called the Laplace transform in mathematics you have learned. So operations such as differentiation, integration, sinusoidal, it can be converted into algebraic functions. using Laplace transform. That's why the name Laplace transform. So here differential equation need not be solved. Then any system response is divided into transient response and steady state response. Transient response means, like I gave an example, initially whenever you start the system, it takes some time for stabilizing. So that is called the transient response. Like if you start a gearbox, grrr, 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 and then shanti, shanti, shanti. So that first initial time, grrr, 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 okay, that is your transient time, and then steady state. As a control engineer, you have to see that transient time is zero. You should always, any system you design should always go into steady state as early as possible. Okay. And you have to define this, you have to describe this system, the static as well as dynamic characteristics, by a mathematical equation. That is what is called the mathematical model. Okay. And all the dynamic systems, mechanical, electrical, thermal, uh, hydraulic, biological, mm, they can be characterized or modeled by differential equation. Response of dynamic system to an input or forcing function is obtained if differential equations are solved. Like you describe, you model your system, and you model your system, you represent your system by differential equation, you solve it, and the result is nothing but response of the system. And as I said, these equations for the system can be obtained by using Newton's law if the systems are mechanical, and can be obtained using Kirchhoff's law if the systems are electrical. If there are non-linearities, then that gives rise to the partial differential equation. That is what I quoted earlier. If the equations of the model is linear, then it is called the linear differential equation. And non-linear systems are represented by non-linear equations, like y is equal to sine x, y is equal to xz, z is equal to x square plus y square. These are all non-linear system. And non-linear differential equation क्या है? Non-linear, this is one example of non-linear differential equation. That is d square x upon dt square plus dx by dt square plus x, and this is second order, is equal to a sine of omega t. Just remember this, huh? Don't bother about what is x, what is omega, what is a. But you know all this. X is nothing but the displacement, a is nothing but the amplitude, omega is nothing but the angular frequency, and t is nothing but the time. Then we start with some simple system, mathematical modeling of simple system, only spring mass system or spring mass damper system. Only spring mass system or spring mass damper system or spring mass dashport system. Spring mass damper or spring mass dashport system means it will have damping arrangement which will reduce the friction. There is some analogy between mechanical system and electrical system. Like in mechanical system, we have force or torque in case of rotary motion. In electrical system, it is voltage. In mechanical system, M, or M stands for mass or inertia, is analogous to inductance, that is L in electrical system. Viscous friction coefficient F is analogous to resistor R in electrical system. Spring constant K in mechanical system is analogous to 1 by C, that is your conductance. Displacement x in linear, theta in rotary motion is analogous to charge q in electrical system. Velocity, this is x dot. X dot is nothing but single derivative, first derivative, that is represented by x dot or theta dot, is analogous to current in electrical system. Again, there are some symbols like K naught is nothing but open loop. O stands for O, open loop, and K stands for gain. So this is open loop gain constant. And K naught dash, that is open loop sensitivity. Gain, see, try to understand what is gain. Theta on is again nothing but open loop gain. So theta on and KO is same. Gain is nothing but what is the output of the system, how much you are gaining. That is nothing but gain. And sensitivity means how how fast your system reacts to some changes in the input. That is what is called as the sensitivity. Like you make some changes in the input and how fast you get the how fast the system reacts. That is your sensitivity, and this is also called as the sensitivity analysis. Like you go on changing the input parameters and go on observing or watching the output parameters. In industry, you will find the applications of control engineering in proportional, integral, proportional plus derivative controller, uh, or RTD, resistance temperature. This you may be using or you may use in your projects in the next year. Resistance temperature controller or temperature controller, uh, which works on the principle of derivative, principle of integration. If the system is subjected to the shock inputs, then you have to use impulse function. I have told you many times that transient response that goes from initial to the final state, and steady state means it remains in the final state. So Roots criteria or analog computer can be used. Also root locus can be used to determine the transient response. First order system is analogous or can be represented by RC circuit, that is by resistance capacitance circuit. And second order systems, the applications are servo mechanism. These closed loop poles are the roots of the control engineering. So this you will understand when we study root locus. Right now you just remember there is something called the pole. What is frequency response? Frequency response, it is nothing but steady state. As I told that response is divided into transient response and steady state response. So frequency response nothing but steady state response of a system to a sinusoidal input. That is what is called as the frequency response. So what we do here, we change the frequency of the input signal and study the resulting frequency response. Nyquist stability, Bode's plot, these are the techniques to study the frequency response. Nyquist stability criteria. Uh, so in this case, there is no need to determine or no need to find out the roots of the C. C is nothing but the characteristics equation. Characteristic equation. That is, I will teach you how to get the characteristic equation when you represent a system by mathematical model. Then frequency response tests, they are simple, accurate, and they can be represented by sinusoidal signal generator. Analysis and what are the techniques for the frequency response test? Nyquist plot, polar plot, then logarithmic plot. These are the different techniques. What is polar plot? Polar plot, it is nothing but representation of G against theta. G is nothing but the output and theta is nothing but the input. Okay, so you vary the input and check your amplitude. So in polar plot, we plot the graph of magnitude, which is nothing but G, against the phase angle, that is theta. Hmm. And here there are three parameters. Remember, in Cartesian plot, we always take two parameters, but here we take three parameters like magnitude on the y-axis, phase angle on the x-axis, and then we go on changing the frequency, that is omega, from 0 to infinity. So how to plot this, you will be learning this also. That is when the omega or when the frequency is varied from 0 to infinity, what is its effect on the phase angle and what is its effect on G. So frequency approach utilizes steady state response of the system, and whereas root locus, it is for the transient. Remember, Nyquist is again for the steady state. See, this is the system. Suppose this I have modeled the systems. Okay, this is so initially grr, 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 and then shanti, 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 shanti. Okay. So now this is stable in this region. So this is what is called as the steady state response, and this is your transient response. All right. So here the amplitude remains more or less same, and steady state response, that doesn't mean that there is no error. For example, my output I want say 3000 rpm. Okay. Now it will take some time from 0 to 1 second or 2 seconds to reach that 3000 rpm. That we are starting from 0, 500 rpm, 1000, 1500, okay, and 3000. Now the 3000 day, that is what my requirement is. But even if I get 2900, that is fine as long as it doesn't fluctuates. As long as it remains the same 2900, as long as it remains 2900, I am happy. What is my concern? That it should remain 2900 over a period, over a period throughout. Even if it is 3100, it is fine. But my requirement is that it should remain 3100 over a period. And that is what is called as the error. If I am getting 3000, if my error is 0, I am the most happiest person. But even if I don't get, even if even if it has error, but if it remains same, it is good. So as a control engineer, you have to see that your error is 0 and system remains steady in steady state condition. It achieves that steady state as early as possible. See, this is a transient response from here to here, and this is the steady state response. Okay, so here in this case, the error is 0. Now, what are the technique for studying transient response? Roots criteria, analog computer method, and root locus. These are the techniques to study the transient response. This is called as the steady state response, or it is also called as the frequency response. What are the techniques? Nyquist plot, polar plot, G5 plot, that is magnitude frequency plot, and logarithmic or Bode plot. Bode plot is also called as the logarithmic plot. Logarithmic advantage of logarithmic plot is you can accommodate huge data and there is no crowding of the data like shares. Shares may you can you can have a plot of 10 years on a single graph paper, whereas on normal plot it will be normal Cartesian plot, it will be very difficult to represent. There will be a crowd, it will be a very crowded, whereas in logarithmic this crowding can be avoided and the huge data can be accommodated. There are some techniques, that is Laplace and classical solution. These are applicable to study both transient as well as frequency. Means here in Laplace and classical, when you solve, you get in the result, you get two results. One part is transient response and other part of the result is frequency response. So there are two parts in the result. One is transient response and other is frequency response. Whereas here you get only transient, here you get only frequency response. All right. See, these are the some graphs of some system like here, grrr, and then shanti, shanti, shanti. Okay. Here also like this. This is your transient response, and then this is steady state slowly. Okay. Now, what is this? This system. So this is a stable system after some time. This is a stable system again after some time. Whereas this is unstable. It doesn't come to stability. So as a control engineer, you have to investigate the reasons and you have to see that the system becomes stable. Okay. This is again unstable. This is unstable. This is again unstable. Instability is increasing. Instability is increasing. So you know the roots, isn't it? You know what is complex number. Huh? You know iota. I is equal to square root of minus 1. That is an imaginary number. Now you have formed the differential equation, and then by looking at the roots, you can infer, you can understand, and these are the short techniques. Hmm. Whether the system will be simple, stable or not. Like for example, here, see this is a root. Now what is this root? It is a real number and it is negative, correct? It is real negative number. For example, minus 4.7. Minus 4.7 is a real negative number. So if the roots of the equation, like you have modeled the system, आपको सिस्टम आपने मॉडल किया, आपको इक्वेशन मिला, देन आप सॉल्व किया, आपको रूट मिला. ओके. नाउ इफ द रूट इज रियल नेगेटिव, then it indicates this, that is system will become stable, after some time. If the roots of the system are real positive, that is this, that is say my answer, I have solved the mathematical equation and मेरे को +5 आंसर मिला root, it indicates the system will be unstable. System will be unstable. It will the disturbance, or the instability will increase as the time increases. What happens if the roots are complex, like say minus 5 plus 7i or minus 5 minus 7i? That is this cross is nothing but roots. The roots are indicated by cross. So if I get the roots like this, it means the system, initially it is unstable and then slowly it will become stable. Fine. And so on. Like now here it is, roots are positive real, so the disturbance will increase, the system will be unstable. If the roots lie on the imaginary axis, if the roots lies on the imaginary axis, that is say plus 5i and minus 5i, it indicates that the system will be stable by margin. Okay, that is what is called as the margin is stable. Now you have to remember this very, learn by heart. These are the uses of root stability. It is quick, easy indicator, indicates the number of positive roots, does not readily give the degree of stability. It can be used to specify values of system parameters. So this was a summary of control engineering or a brief about the control engineering. Now you must remember this. What do you mean by under dam? What do you mean by critically dam? And what do you mean by over dam? So over dam means two real poles. Critically damped means two equal real poles. Over damped may there will be two different real poles. You will understand what slowly. Under damped means it has two complex poles. Okay. So this you will understand when we model the system mathematically. So let's start with the simple mathematical modeling. At least we will do one modeling today. See, this is a simple, you know, system. Now this is the block, and this is a force which is applied to move the block. We assume that there is no friction, and that's why there is a small gap can be seen on the surface. As I told, this force is also called as the input disturbance, and the effect of this input disturbance will be displacement. That is, this block will be moved by some distance, and that is represented by x, which is called as the output, or which is called as the response. Output is nothing but response, input is nothing but disturbance. You know F is equal to ma, Newton's second law of equation, where F is force, mass is m is mass, a is acceleration. We also know the difference between mass and weight. Mass remains same everywhere. It is the quantity of the matter. Weight changes as per the g. Weight is nothing but it is the force with which it is pulled towards the center of the earth. So W is equal to mg. W is equal to mg. So from that, m is equal to W upon g. So m can be replaced by W upon g, and acceleration is nothing but, see, velocity is dx by dt, that is first derivative. Acceleration is second derivative of the displacement. Acceleration is dv by dt, or d square x by dt square. D square x by dt square. So it is, x is the displacement or distance. So acceleration is nothing but second derivative of the displacement. So it can be written, a can be written as d square x by dt squares. Now d is operator, that is d by dt. So this d square x by dt square can be written as d square x, and I write w by g as capital M. Okay. So f is equal to m into d square x. F is equal to m into d square x. Now what I will do, I will take this f on right hand side and m into d square on left hand side. So I will get x upon f is equal to 1 upon md square. Now what is x? X is nothing but response, that is this. What is f? F is nothing but input disturbance. Okay. So response upon input disturbance is what? Efficiency or transfer function. So transfer function for this particular system block is 1 upon md square, where m is the mass and d square is nothing but acceleration. Okay. So the transfer function explains the mathematical dependence of parameter of systems on the applied input in order to produce the required output. So system transfer function can be written as system output divided by system input, or response, that is nothing but the output, and disturbance, that is nothing but the input. Right? So this is what is your single integration, this is your double integration. Okay. So this is theta, d theta upon theta, that can be represented by d by dt. If you replace by capital D, so this will be d theta. Second derivative will be represented by d square theta. This is the typical differential equation, first order, and this is second order equation. Now there are different ways to calculate the transfer function. One way is simultaneous equation method, and another way is block diagram method. So we have studied one simple block method. Another is now a spring block, how to find out transfer function for the spring and block. Here is one block, as you can see, which is attached with the help of a spring, and it's moving on a frictionless surface. So spring will exert a force in opposite direction to the applied force, and that will depend upon the stiffness of the spring, that is how stiff the spring is. Like you see the springs of the ball pen, you see the springs of the railway locomotives, coil springs. So depending upon the stiffness of the spring, its resistance will vary, and that is represented by Fs. My applied force is Fi, that is input force. I am giving or applying a force of Fi, that is input force. So my net force will be input force minus spring force, that is Fs. So net force will be summation of F, that is equal to Fi minus Fs. What is Fs? Spring resistance or spring force, and that will depend upon the stiffness of the spring. And Fs, you know, you have studied in mechanics, Fs is equal to Kx. So Fi minus Kx. And what is net force? Net force will be, as per Newton's second law of motion, it will be Ma. M I replaced by W by G, acceleration is the second derivative of the displacement. So Fs now can be Kx. So I change this Fs by Kx, I substitute. So Fi minus Kx is equal to M d square x. Now I take this Kx on this side, I take x common, I divide x by Fi. So x by Fi will be 1 by k divided by bracket made W by Gk d square plus 1. This you can try. I have written directly. So what is x? X is nothing but the response, that is displacement. Fi is nothing but the input force. So this is the transfer function. Now third modeling, that is spring mass damping system. So here you have spring and you have a damper here to which a block is attached. Now Fs, that is spring force, is Kx. Damping force is given by Cdx, so where the C is the damping constant. Here K is the spring constant. So what will be my net force? My net force here will be summation of F, that is equal to Fi, which is my disturbance, this input disturbance, Fi minus Fs minus Ff. Ff is nothing but the damping force. Now damping force is nothing but C dx. That is nothing but C into d by dt of x. So again you take some common, replace this net force by, no, okay. Replace this net force by Ma, and you get a transfer function of spring mass damping system as this. Okay, so you try these two modeling as a homework, and we'll meet tomorrow. If you have any doubt, you please ask, else we can call it a day. Bolo Hardik,
So can you please upload the
I'll
notes
upload this
in
no
class?
problem. Yeah?
Okay.
But tomorrow you have to show me the detailed working of spring mass damping system as well as spring mass. It's not that difficult. All right.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you.